Hi, welcome to Group Three's presentation on rebranding the School of Business at SUNY Brockport. After doing our research and a lot of data gathering, our team's consensus was that um, the School of Business is very good for those that are attending it. However, the exposure that they have on their brand currently is very minimal compared to competitors. For stakeholders internally specifically, we as students, specifically in staff, really know the logo, the brand, the colors. We know where the location is even if we are online only. Um, but for other upcoming students that are in high school looking for their next step, there could definitely be some improvements, and we will um, talk about them now.
All right, some of the ways that we can spread brand awareness is by creating engagement and implementing creative strategies via social media. I believe that if we try to maybe engage more in social media by creating hashtags or scanning QR codes where students can fill out a survey would help. I believe that this would help overall brand awareness. I also believe that maybe getting people who've already graduated and maybe having them promote the brand would be helpful. I don't necessarily believe that we should revitalize the brand, but I do believe that we should create maybe another logo as a representation of the School of Business, maybe an eagle or a current mascot as one of the logos. I believe that using AI can be beneficial by not just having students elect multiple choice questions, but actually having them write down what they want to implement and then maybe analyzing that data to figure out what would be the most beneficial improvement or even find what advantages we have over other colleges. So basically find what our point of difference is and our points of parity are. So some of the core branding strategies that I've decided that to revitalize as brand promises. I believe that incorporating something as far as like innovation and how we're growing along with technology would be better to just help the learning curve and help people understand that technology can be used to help grow instead of trying to regress. Some of the brand personalities that I've chosen were compassion, hope, and strength. I've chosen these because it puts out a positive image and it's not just on the basis of what we're trying to accomplish as a college, but making people feel comfortable at the college, making people feel welcome. Some of the brand purposes that I've decided to do was inclusion and diversity, because I feel like everyone should feel accepted and everyone should feel as though they have a place within this college and promote that via education. Um, some of the value propositions would be we foster hope for a better future because we're trying to go in the right direction. Acceptance is virtuous, meaning that everyone should feel accepted regardless of where they're coming from, regardless of their background, regardless of anything that they've been through. I feel like these would be a better core branding strategy into what we're trying to promote and what we're trying to do as a college.
All right, so this section we're going to focus on how the School of Business and Management can improve their brand image and better communicate its values to its stakeholders. So the first point we're going to make is that the School of Business Management, they need stronger differentiation. So right now, the School of Business Management, they may be just seen as like another program within SUNY Brockport. So to help change that, like they should really focus on their brand image on career readiness. So what this means is showing how the program is going to help students prepare for future careers through services, support, and opportunities. Another important part of this is highlighting the alumni success stories. So when prospective students and parents like see real life examples of graduates doing well, it's really going to help to prove that the program works. So this can really also make the School of Business and Management feel more authentic, credible, and valuable, building that trust. So the next point we're going to touch on is digital communication. So especially we're going to focus on the website. So the website is going to be one of the first places prospective students, parents, and other stakeholders go to learn more about the program. So because of this, the website really needs to make a strong first impression. So one suggestion that we came up with is the School of Business and Management to have its own separate website while still clearly showing that it's connected to SUNY Brockport. So this would really help them stand out from other programs while still keeping the credibility of being part of the SUNY school. So the website is going to be really easy to navigate, professional, mobile friendly, and really show the School of Business and Management identities through colors, logos, and branding. So another way to help it stand out is those colors that I have there is leaf green and sunflower. These are colors that aren't the official SUNY Brockport, like the dark green and the gold, but they are still colors of SUNY Brockport. So just being able to use these colors more and have it associated with the School of Business and Management will really help with that brand recall.
I'm going to kick it off with a little research, just comparing the School of Business and Management and Saunders College of Business. That is the program through RIT. These are both local institutions that a lot of people know about, hear about, but there is a big difference. SUNY Brockport and their School of Business is definitely um, not as popular at the moment, where RIT is getting a lot of global, national um, students coming either um, online or they're coming here to attend that school. You can see that there's 5,000 full-time students from 24 to 25 at SUNY Brockport, and 12,000, almost 13,000 students enrolled at RIT for the same school year. Now, all of these are obviously not going to the School of Business or the College of Business for RIT. However, just the brand for RIT, students know that they're open to AI. They know that they are evolving and integrating modern skill sets into each degree. So not just business degrees, but engineering and AI and a lot of the STEM fields that they offer there. So this is just a way to show the size and what the School of Business at Brockport could potentially be. With a heavy focus on social media applications, um, just technology in general these days, rebranding of the website would be greatly beneficial for the School of Business and Management. Currently, you have to dig, as we stated in our report, for the School of Business, and it's not very engaging when you do get to that section of their website. Therefore, we have proposed a facelift, if you will, for the website, and below are some screenshots of what we think would really look engaging, be more interactive, give more information, and really show that um, the school is willing to transform with the world that we live in to help set us up for um, careers and making sure that students aren't graduating and going with no experience in the real world and being able to succeed after graduation. By having a set recruitment strategy, you're setting up students sooner for success and ultimately companies around the world to help improve our economy. By pulling in partnerships, by pulling in alumni success stories, um, these are all engaging aspects that prospect students, current students, other alumni really could benefit from. From my experience personally, I've been in the field for 15 years and I have learned a lot on the job. Looking back in high school, even my, fresh out of high school days, I really wish I had the exposure to some of the colleges around and opportunities to really understand what real world work experience is like. So, um, with the School of Business, by integrating more social media, by being more present, by involving the students more, and giving them success stories, is going to really help, grow, evolve, and optimize this program while being innovative and keeping up with the other schools that are continuing to adapt to AI, to adapt to um, a positive use on AI and not just relying on that for everything. Lastly, we feel that having the School of Business and Management as its own website or face of the website would be a huge help for engaging students and sparking their interest. Hey, what is this? Can I also major or minor in something to help me? These programs look great. They're innovative. They're showing integrity. They're involved in the community, and that's where we think the School of Business should go with our mission statement, updated vision statement, and just focus on um, the innovation and global mindset.
So some of the increasing communications that I found via our website at SUNY Brockport School of Business is that a lot of people may lack confidence going into a job fair because they lack the experience. Um, I know a lot of freshmen and sophomore may feel like there's a hurdle trying to enter into a job fair. So what I propose is to provide tips and training to go to these job fairs or via our website or to just help them improve their confidence. Another idea that I propose is create more social media engagement, maybe a QR code to promote a survey on the different issues that are going around at SUNY Brockport. There's certain things that I've noticed on LinkedIn that can be improved, such as in the following base. I know that SUNY Brockport has about 1,000 to 1,200 students or people following their LinkedIn. I believe that that can be increased. And I believe once we increase that, maybe that will spread more brand awareness. I also know Handshake has a limited amount of people following via there. I believe that more people should be more aware of Handshake and so that they can help find their future job and career. One way that I would promote this is by using AI as a tool. Maybe using AI to as a survey to ask students whether they feel like SUNY Brockport is preparing them for their future career, and what ways can we improve students entering into the real job market.
All right, so at this point, we're going to touch on email marketing. So email marketing is really going to help the School of Business Management build stronger connections with stakeholders by communicating with them directly. So the theme of the emails should be in connection, credibility, and success. And the brand voice should really be professional, welcoming, helpful, and encouraging. And these emails are also going to be personalized depending on the audience. So for example, if an email is being sent out to alumni, the email is going to focus on like events or networking opportunities, while emails to prospective students, they're going to focus on deadlines and scholarships and like student testimonials and like career outcomes. So overall, like these strategies are really going to support the rebrand by making the School of Business and Management more recognizable and easier to access and more connected to its stakeholders by focusing on that career readiness aspect, improving the website, and using personalized email marketing. So the School of Business and Management can create a clear brand identity and show why it's a strong choice for students preparing for their future careers.
Now covering slide 5, or the intro to section 6, and this is why traditional media still matters. Traditional media isn't about reaching students directly. That's not its job. It's about credibility with the people whose trust shapes whether a student even considers going to SOBAM in the first place, and that's the alumni, employers, and parents. And it matters a lot more than it used to. Recent grad unemployment is sitting near 5.7%, and over 40% of grads are underemployed. The old idea that a degree just leads to a job doesn't really hold anymore. So I'd say that the research is pretty clear that the most trusted source isn't the school talking about what it has to offer and all of its achievements. It's the students and the alumni directly. That's the whole foundation for this section. 3 channels, and the next section, but 3 channels, an alumni newsletter, press release, and a print mailer, all built on proof instead of slogans. And now for slide 6. So the first channel, the alumni newsletter. So the alumni newsletter is our lead channel, and it's actually the only one in the section a prospective student would realistically read. It's going to have two different features, an alumni spotlight and an inside SOBAM class feature. The core idea behind both is simple. A real alumnus is the finished product. Whatever they're doing right now is the most honest evidence SOBAM has. It's more honest than anything the school could ever say about itself. And that alum needs to be recent, very recent, ideally class of 2023 or 2024, someone who graduated into today's job market, not a different economy. The content also isn't meant to just sit in a newsletter. It's written to get repurposed across social media and the website too, so it actually reaches where the students are. Then for slide 7, channels 2 and 3, a press release and mailer. It's like a credibility layer. These two channels work one step removed from the students. They build credibility with the adults whose trust matters side by side here. The press release targets regional employees and local business leaders, and it builds around real-world events. So it's not an abstract claim, it's a real story with named employers. And the research backs this approach. Audiences consistently rate earned media as more credible than ads or native content. The mailer targets prospective students and their parents, specifically the ones off SOBAM's digital radar. This matters because 48% of seniors name parents as a top 5 info source, and 67% say cost is the most important factoring decision. So different channels with the same goal, helping students producing media that genuinely helps students consider SOBAM.
So our social media strategy focuses on pushing out perspectives that are personable as well as authentic. So we want to get more content that focuses around student experiences and build more trust from our target audience, which is prospective students, as well as strengthen the connection that we have to current students and the engagement that we receive from these current students. And we also want to include the whole scope of what the School of Business and Management is doing in terms of the evolution of technology with the new introductions of AI, as well as how this will influence these students once they enter the job market. So one issue that we identified when figuring out our strategy is that the majority of colleges or institutions promote their school in a way that is not personable and is very promotional and almost preachy. So we want to actually put ourselves into the mindset of someone who is scrolling on their phone, consuming hundreds of posts a day, and you need to be grabbed with attention as well as emotional elements like humor, motivation, as well as excitement, imagination, things like that. So social media also has a high focus on how people want to be perceived by others. So a lot of the times people will use features like the repost feature on Instagram, as well as sharing posts with others, as well as on their stories, to curate a sense of an identity or an aesthetic for themselves. So people like to share posts that feel relatable or that they find identity in. So with our starter pack graphic post, we really want to tie in elements of humor and relatability, such as cutout images of coffee, multiple browser tabs open, as well as more serious elements of being a part of this program that feel like something that people want to show off or be proud of. So that includes internship applications, that includes Excel skills. We also want to use fast-paced content that covers the whole scope of all of the elements that make the School of Business and Management a desirable school to attend. Social media is so fast-paced and we consume so much content that we need to get straight to the point when it comes to the message that we want to get across. So we're going to do this by our Instagram reel, which we will have clips of individual words that students describe the School of Business and Management as well as our TikTok video that will show short clips of experiences that students have through this program. So when we get perspectives from students and alumni, this builds more credibility because it's coming from a place of individuals who don't necessarily have any incentives or bias when it comes to their opinions and experiences. So when it comes to Facebook and X strategy, not only are we trying to strengthen our credibility, but we're also trying to strengthen the connection that we have with alumni. Alumni are people that we want to be able to promote our school through word of mouth and positive experiences. X is primarily a conversational app. What receives the most engagement is usually threads and comment sections. So I came up with the concept that a simple post that would be, what is the best advice that a professor from the School of Business and Management has given you? So this would receive a wide range of specific stories that individuals have rather than a promotional piece that is broad. So these are specific stories, specific experiences, and that feels more authentic and personal to people. We really want to show that the School of Business and Management is not only constantly growing and evolving, but it also has long-term value past the education piece into the workforce. So since Facebook is going to be more targeted towards active users who are a little bit older, particularly alumni and parents of students at the school, we want to really create an emotional experience once again, and we're going to have multiple photos of different eras of Brockport to show the evolution when it comes to technology, experiences, programs, events, things that really show that the School of Business and Management is evolving and also highlight their successes and their strengths. Also, this has high potential for high rates of engagement. Alumni are going to be motivated to comment as well as share, comment what era they were a part of, comment their thoughts on how the school has changed, maybe even praise about what new elements the School of Business and Management has. And yeah, I see this having high rates of engagement. And not only that, but also prospective students as well as parents can see that the school has long-term value and is constantly adapting to changes in the outside world or the current time.
On these next couple of slides, we will talk about how we can build a foundation to change how people see the School of Business and Management. Traditional marketing strategies like generic emails and paper brochures won't cut it. To prove we are a modern, high-impact business school, we are launching an experimental marketing campaign driven by one core idea: the business of doing. We can focus our efforts on recruitment by targeting undeclared majors, high school graduates, and community college transfers. For them, we have one simple message: stop reading about business and start running one. To do this, we can launch a lab pop-up. Just imagine a high-tech installation in the middle of a high school campus or community college quad. Instead of handing out brochures and flyers to students, we hand them an iPad with a 3-minute business simulation. This accomplishes two things. It gets rid of the boring state school stereotype that we currently have and highlights the School of Business and Management's modern focus on digital technology. For our corporate challenge, we're able to partner with major regional employers like Paychex, Excelis, ESL, or even RTS. On a Friday, students would be handed a live classified operational problem. These students would have all weekend, 48 hours, to analyze the data, build a strategy, and pitch their solution live to corporate executives on Sunday afternoon. This isn't just an event, it's a way that students are able to show proof. It physically demonstrates to hiring managers that School of Business and Management students aren't just able to read textbooks. They can perform at high levels consulting work on par with private schools in the area. and it shows they are truly ready to solve real-world business problems. For this last concept, we are flipping the script on traditional career fairs by creating a reverse career fair. Instead of students wandering a room handing out resumes, our graduating seniors can set up dedicated booths to showcase their capstone projects, research, and even their resumes. Recruiters and executives are able to walk the floor to interact with the students and physically see their work and their capabilities. This removes all hiring risk. It proves that our narrative of zero fluff and shows local recruiters exactly what kind of investments they are making when they are hiring a School of Business and Management graduate.